You are listening to Infernal Rock Radio.
Hey everyone! Come and see how good I look!
Built by the bands, for the fans.
Station built by the bands for the fans of Infernal Rock Radio. Agnosis in the 420 with Writing by Candlelight. I need to kill this second. That's better. Sorry about that. Lost my train of thought. Writing by Candlelight. I'm joined now by Austin and Andrew from Agnosis. How are you guys doing today?
Doing fine.
Doing pretty well.
Welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Definitely. Thank you.
So I'd like to start out with, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about the band?
Andrew, you want to take that one?
Sure, why not? Well, I guess originally Agnosis first started kicking around back in 2002 when Austin, myself, and a few other people were all living in New York City. You know, over a couple of years, we evolved the band, kind of reformed this, kind of refined our sound, and eventually put out a record in 2005 called Hecate that I think kind of encapsulates what we were going for and really kind of shows our sound as being what it evolved to. And then, you know, we played a bunch of shows to promote it, did a few tours, and then I think it was by the end of by early 2007 we went on hiatus as, you know, people kind of went their separate ways. And then over the past year or two, Austin and I had been kicking around the ideas of putting together some new music and finishing some ideas that, you know, we never got a chance to finish before, and that's really where we're at right now. And we just finished up a new EP called A Painful Pattern, and right now it's available digitally, but we're working on getting some CDs and hopefully some vinyls made up over the next couple weeks.
So now you guys, besides kind of taking a little hiatus and coming back together, you guys also live fairly far apart, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, in part of the hiatus, you know, I don't want to speak for Austin, but I know part of it was that you know, New York City can get to be a bit of a grind, and sometimes people want to change their lifestyle, and you know, I kind of handed over to him to answer this question.
Around the time, actually, the Agnosis going on hold was kind of the start of a spiral of my kind of personal life in New York, just taking a big shit on me. August of 2007, I moved out to Louisville, Kentucky to kind of start over. Went back to school, started a new career, and so here I am now. I'm still out in Kentucky, and we've been doing this whole thing kind of remotely. Andrew came out here for a weekend to record the bass tracks for the EP and everything, and we've been just kind of talking over the phone to plan tours and stuff, and it's been interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a little bit of an experience, but it's kind of the cool thing with technology and whatnot. You know, like it's been easy for us to pass ideas back and forth, and you know, we've seen each other a couple points along the way. And to be honest, really, it doesn't feel, you know, any different than you know, being in like a normal band, other than the fact that we don't practice every week. You know, I mean, I feel like our ability to be creative and, you know, like our ability to like be in touch and like, you know, share like the vision and whatnot is the exact same as if you know, we were both in the same area, but it's definitely a little different.
Do you feel that I'm guessing that you guys kind of sent stuff back and forth and then actually got together to record it. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
So then, do you feel that you don't feel that that's lended itself to changing the sound any or the makeup of the way you guys interact while writing the music any different?
Not really. Yeah, I mean, we talked a lot before we started recording, and we kind of, you know, reconnected on a lot of things. And then when it came to actually recording, you know, we were very much, I think, on the same page.
Yeah, and like Andrew said, the major impetus behind doing the new recordings was that we had all these great songs we had written, and really before the split in 2006, we were about to start recording our first full-length album. So we had all these songs that we both felt really were great, and we were proud of them, and we wanted to record them. You know, I was always saying, I don't even care if this gets released. I just want to have these to listen to and play for my friends and be like, look, I wrote that. I played that. So a lot of the stuff we've been doing was just stuff that, you know, we had played live and we know exactly what it sounds like. And there wasn't a huge amount of the creative element involved. Actually, Writing by Candlelight, the song that we just heard, was one that I mostly wrote once I had moved out here and brought it through. And I wasn't sure if he was even going to like it when I brought it to him. I wasn't sure how much it sounded like Agnosis. But we did it, and I think it kills.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of my favorite, if not favorite, songs of the new batch. But yeah, like Austin said, a lot of the material was written ahead of time. That being one of the primary exceptions to that. So like we had a lot of the starting place. So like we discussed stuff that we wanted to change or do a little differently. But maybe this would have been more difficult if we were writing a completely brand new album from scratch. That would have been probably a little different.
That'll be our next challenge.
So when you guys are putting together your sound and makeup and whatnot, where are you drawing your influences from?
Andrew probably has a better list of actual influences, like bands that he's I don't want to say trying to emulate, but when we started playing this, I really wasn't listening to a lot of real heavy doom. Like I was into some Cathedral, and I've always loved Sabbath. And I think around the time we started doing it, I was getting into Crowbar too. But we were just kind of talking, and he was saying, let's do something that's really extreme. Let's play really slow and then really fast. And so that was kind of always my drive, was just do something that doesn't have a whole lot of middle ground and reaching for those extremes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to remember that, like, when we started kicking around some of these ideas, this is as far back as maybe even 2002 or so, and the doom scene was a lot different than it is now, and it wasn't as kind of far-reaching. Like like even then, like bands like like Electric Wizard and Warhorse were just starting to kind of get on people's radar, and it wasn't like these were these big cult phenomenons that now you can read about in like whatever metal magazines and whatnot. So like we kind of knew what was out there. And there were definitely bands that were influencing us. I mean, I would probably point to Cathedral and Crowbar as the biggest two. And then other ones, definitely getting on our radar, like Warhorse, Electric Wizard, like I mentioned. And then, we saw some bands, over the next couple of years that came through and definitely made an impression on us. Like we saw Ocean from Maine. We saw Unearthly Trance, who were also from New York. Those were bands that kind of showed us how to do it in the live setting in particular.
Grief they're from New Hampshire.
Yeah, definitely can't forget Grief. That was those guys when they did their reunion. I think that was 2005 or 6. We opened for them, and that was awesome. At that point, I would say like we'd kind of we were much further along in the process of kind of forging our own identity and sound and whatnot. But yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Cool. Well, why don't we take a listen to another track?
It's good.
I've got And Yet We Fight to Win lined up here. You guys got anything you'd like to say about this before I play it?
Andrew wrote all of these riffs, and I fucking love it.
Thank you.
Well, with that, then, we'll listen to the track. This is Agnosis with And Yet We Fight to Win. Crank it up. are back. I'm joined by Austin and Andrew still from Agnosis. We just heard And Yet We Fight to Win. Now, that was your first recording, correct?
Well, it's kind of our first like official recording. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
We definitely we recorded other music with different lineups and whatnot, but like by the time we kind of solidified the band being what it was this EP called Hecate.
And then now, would you say with the new stuff you're working on, is it still going to still very much in the same vein? Are you guys altering your sound at all? Where do you see yourself taking what you're writing in the future? I mean,
I would say that the stuff that is coming out on the EP that we just finished, the Painful Pattern EP, and on the full length that Austin mentioned we're going to try to wrap up around the end of this year, is it's very much in the same vein. No one's going to think it's a different band or whatever. I think on average maybe the songs are a little longer. Some of the structures are maybe a little more complex. But, that was just the nature of, kind of pushing ourselves a little bit more with the writing. And as far as, anything we might do in the future, I don't think we're not looking to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. We have kind of a style that we enjoy playing. But, things obviously change and, we've been writing these types of, we've been writing for, a number of years. So stuff changes over that time.
Yeah. I think Hecate was pretty experimental for us, but it also really did solidify our sound and what we wanted to do. The track we just heard is much more mid-tempo, and it's got more swing than a lot of other stuff that you'll hear. I think Writing by Candlelight's probably more indicative of the general sound of things. And definitely as we progressed, we tended towards the slower riffs and the longer song structures. There's more complexity in that sense than a lot of the stuff on Hecate. But yeah, like Andrew said, definitely still the same band.
So I guess I was talking to Andrew for a minute, and he was saying that you guys are pretty happy with just working on recording and stuff right now. How do you guys, when you were closer together and you played more, how do you guys feel about not being able to play out live as much?
My throat feels a lot better.
I mean, was that ever like a major piece of the band for you? Do you, some bands are live bands. Where do you guys see yourself in that spectrum?
Or go ahead, Austin. Why don't you handle this?
We were in largely a live band. We played a lot of shows, and like I said earlier, and I don't remember if we were on air when I said it or not, we were just about to head into recording an album when we kind of all got sick of each other's faces. So I think we didn't really get a chance to become as much of a studio band and recording band as we probably could have been. So it was almost circumstantial that we were as much of a live band as we were. We were really just trying to get the word out and get ourselves in front of people.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, at that point in time, I would not have traded all the live shows we did for anything, because that's how we kind of solidified our sound. We got a lot tighter and whatnot. But right now we're in kind of a different position. We have a lot more experience and are a little older and whatnot. So I at this point, the need to like play tons and tons of live shows isn't quite the same as it was 7-8 years ago or whatever. But I think it's just kind of part of the maturing curve, so to speak. I guess we should just give the quick recap of the live band question, which is we used to play live a lot, and I'm glad that we did. But at this point, I think that we're able to kind of do what we want to do without having to play quite as many live shows, and that's something I think we're okay with.
Yeah. So I guess with that in mind, you do have some live shows and whatnot coming up. Would you like to tell everybody about those?
Well, we are currently negotiating a small tour, probably around the sort of eastern Midwest. We're going to play Louisville and circle up through probably Indianapolis, Chicago, possibly up to Milwaukee. We are not really solid on a lot of that. We're still playing with some dates and trying to get some cool bands on those shows. But it's coming. It should be sometime this summer, probably in June. And then so to play the Stoner Hands at Doomfest in Connecticut Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, and then hopefully we'll be swinging back through New York, or at least somewhere else on the East Coast around that weekend as well. But that also we're kind of hammering out the details. So we at this point we don't have the exact dates for any of this stuff locked down. But we're hoping to do these handful of shows this summer.
Yeah, we'll definitely be making some announcements soon.
Cool. I suppose people would be able to find that information by your Facebook page, any other web pages and stuff like that?
We have basically our web presence consists of our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/agnosis, and then we have a website, agnosisdoom.info, that's more for like music and downloads and all that sort of stuff. But we will list the dates on there as well when they're ready and confirmed.
Cool. I guess the last thing I'd like to ask, and I ask this of all the bands that join me in the Lair, is who are you guys currently listening to? What are some newer bands out there that you think people should be checking out?
Dude, I'm going to be honest. I threw on Sleestack's latest album at work this morning. Because I was talking to Matt from Sleestack trying to get some dates together, and that blew me away.
Now, is that the Fall of Etrusia, or is that the live one they just did?
No, Fall of Etrusia.
Excellent album.
Yeah. I was stunned. It made me want to go write music, and it's been a long time since something hit me that way. That was very cool.
How about you, Andrew? You got anything?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I find that the more stuff I hear, like, the less I get excited about new things. So it's always kind of a struggle to find stuff that really has held my attention a lot recently. But recently some of the stuff that I've been listening to has been maybe a little bit more on the like more. Not really so much like the Doom side, but I've been listening to a lot of Woven Hand recently, particularly their newest record, the Threshing Floor, and also the other band that's kind of a little bit more in their vein is Crippled Black Phoenix. I don't know if you've listened to any of their stuff before.
Nope.
But it's one of the guys that was in Electric Wizard for a little while, and he kind of started this kind of like post-rocky, like heavy psychedelic. It's pretty epic, pretty awesome.
I will definitely be checking that out then.
Yeah.
That's also there's some cool things going on locally in Louisville. A band called Seidr, that's Seidr. That's our drummer, the other Austin Lund, plays guitar and sings in that band, and they are killer, crushing heavy, kind of melancholy doom. It's like My Dying Bride meets Neurosis. And
yeah, I would definitely second Seidr. Like that's definitely one of my favorite heavy records that I've heard come out recently.
Yeah, their first album's called For Winter Fire. I actually engineered the whole thing because I'm awesome. It's killer, and they're working on a follow up right now. I think Austin actually said that he's trying to finish it up in the next couple days, and I've only heard a little bit of it, but it's also really killer. So keep an eye out for that.
Awesome. And then you guys got a couple other projects of your own going on. You guys want to mention those as well real quick?
Andrew is in this band called Archon that is described online as a doom cult rather than a band. And if you've ever been listening to Electric Wizard and been like, man, this is really cool, but I wish it was a whole lot heavier and a whole lot more psychedelic, you will love Archon.
Well, thanks. That's quite an endorsement. I guess that's kind of why we haven't put out our second record yet, because sometimes you just don't know, like, when you've done something how you can kind of top it, and that's kind of how I feel about some of the stuff that we worked on there.
Nice.
And Austin also is working on a pretty cool project called the Mighty Auroch, which is some just incredibly awesome heavy riffs. I don't know if they've actually started recording a proper record yet, but their demo is awesome. And Austin, is it available online anywhere?
It is. If you go to Auroch Doom, and Auroch is AUROCH, aurochdoom.bandcamp.com. We've got just a rehearsal room demo available for download, and we're just all about the riffs.
What was that website again? I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit there.
It's aurochdoom.bandcamp.com.
Excellent. I will put that up in the chat room in a minute as well.
Heck yeah.
All right. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me today. I had a great time talking with you. I've got one more song from you guys. This is All Your Sins. I believe this is off of Painful Pat, or...
Yes. This is off of Painful Pattern, and we should mention that most people probably know it is a Pentagram cover, and we were very happy to have David Sherman from Earthride and Spirit Caravan do vocals on this track. We played a bunch of shows with Earthride, and Sherm was willing to help us out and lay down some vocals here, and I think that the result was pretty cool.
Check it out.
Awesome. Thanks again, and everybody turn this way up and listen to it. This is All Your Sins by Agnosis. Or, I'm sorry, Pentagram, as played by Agnosis.